on Love Astrology.
Oh, yeah. Darn, actually, I wrote notes on my phone. But let's see.
Hello, guys. Welcome. Happy Easter. Oh my gosh. I've been cooking. I still got my apron on. Hello. Look, we got 5 people over here. All righty, guys. We're going to get started. 5 people just went down. Hello. Welcome to One Love Alignment Sunday. We are one on this journey of light and love. We are one. We are one. All right. Let's see if we'll wait a few minutes, gather some people here. You're not going to put it on your One Love.
Yeah, I'm not going to be able to. I didn't have time to get my notes off of this.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, let's start with the bowl. Let's tune ourselves to our heart chakras. Hello, Katie. Welcome. Hello. Welcome. Thanks for tuning in. Hi, Mark. Welcome. This is our One Love Alignment Sunday. Thanks for the share. I appreciate that. Okay, that's you. All right, guys. This is our One Love Alignment Sunday event. We meet every first Sunday. Easter Sunday is the first Sunday in April. So here we are. We're going to do the astrology update, and we're going to talk about some really major things happening in April. We're going to talk about how to stay in alignment with One Love energy, frequency, consciousness. And then we're going to do a sound activation. We're going to do this all in 1 hour today because many people are with their families or taking a break from our families. So we want to get back. But we're committed. We're committed to showing up every first Sunday. So we're so glad you're here. And this is done by Love Offering. So pay what you want, Venmo or through Eventbrite. And here we go. I'm gonna send it over to Matt. He's going to tell us all about the astrology for April and we'll start talking about how to navigate these energies.
Okay, so April has a whole bunch of stuff happening. It's a pretty intense month, and some astrologers have looked at this month particularly for many years now. They've been watching this as a potentially almost like a major turning point. And it's because there are very intense, well, I guess call it energies, influences happening right now. There's a big pack of planets all in Aries. We've had everything packed in Pisces, which is the end of the zodiac. It's a time of where we start to go more into the dream of everything. And now it moves out of the end of the zodiac into the beginning of the zodiac with spring, the zodiacal new year. This is the time where everything kicks off and we feel a strong initiation. But when you have all of this intensely happening all together, it has the potential for a lot of challenges, a lot of aggressions. So there's 2 themes that I would like to talk about, really, which There's the first theme, which is the new moon around the middle of the month, and then near the end of the month we have an interesting aspect, which is Pluto and Juno in Aquarius together, and they are in a square to the sun in Taurus. This is at the end of the month. Right now, the sun is in Aries. Actually, I'm going to flip this and go to that ending one a little bit first, because um, it's in a way maybe not as crucial as the first part, which
Okay.
is so near the end of the month, around the 22nd. I'm going to check my notes. Around about the 22nd to the 27th or so. Pluto and Juno. Pluto is transformations. I'm giving you very basic explanations of things. So Pluto can be a lot of other stuff. It can be intimacy, rebirth, life and death, deep secrets coming out. But in a general sense, it's powerful transformation. And Juno, an asteroid, is something related to commitments, often something like in relationships, like a marriage. And so these two coming together in Aquarius is potentially a time of, I want to check my little notes, because I wrote this nicely as I was sitting down, radical honesty and evolution in unions. Uh, it may be when this now has a square, a tense aspect to the sun in Taurus. Sun in Taurus is like getting more into your security, things moving a little bit more slowly, maybe sensual pleasures, but it's more about a bit of a stubborn, more grounded energy. So when you have Pluto's transformation and Juno together in Aquarius squaring off with this may be a time when there can be, how did I write it? Like this deep commitments demand adjustment. That's what it is. Particularly around who holds power, who shares power, how does the relationship actually relate? So there can be a moment here around this week of some big tensions happening where people really have to come to terms with uh, the balance of the power in the relationship. But the upside is right after all this, then when the sun starts moving a little further, Juno and Pluto are still together doing their thing. But then Venus is moving and they form this trine, which is a it's a calculation based on something that things that come easy. This when they meet at these angles, it just means things start to flow more easily. A square is a tension. There's like just a friction happening. The trine are things that just flows. 27th to the 30th. It's a few days. This is where it's like pressure valve releases. It's communication probably just starts to flow more easily. And anything that there had been tension around is probably going to find resolve. Now, if this, it can manifest in so many ways, like whether it's like if a relationship is breaking up, then someone is finding clarity after that. Or if a relationship is coming to a head and needing some kind of resolve, that resolve is then happening just after that. So
Can I bring something up?
please.
All right. So this is really important, guys. So you have the 22nd to the 27th, where you're going to have this deep secrets coming out in relationships. You got the tensions and stuff. But then at the 27th, you have the resolve. You can't have a resolve if you contract too much around the honesty that's going to be happening. So
Good point.
there's something called the beyonds. It's something I learned in one of my energy trainings. And it's something like when someone tells you a deep secret or a deep truth that you didn't know about, like all of a sudden you feel like your heart just kind of go like, "Argh," and everything stop or everything contract. It's important during that intense time to maybe feel that something that almost stops time, but we're going to be prepared to hear what that is and expand back out it's going to be super important to expand back out to be able to take advantage of the energies of the 27th to the 30th, to be able to come in to the release valve and more ease with communication. And this is where you're going to have the growth in your relationship. You can't have that if you're stuck in the beyonds of the truth that you just got aware of. Does that make sense?
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a really great way of making better sense of all this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's what's so important about learning about these energies that are happening in April, is just like, just make sure between the 23rd and 27th, you can process some big shadows that might be coming up, big truths. Like, find a way to process it and come into the truth of yourself, to know that no secret can knock you off your consciousness, so that you can come into the beautiful growth later in the month. So yeah. So what to do, what do you think about that on a larger scale at the United States?
Yeah. So to answer that, let me go ahead and talk about the middle of the month. And again, I apologize to flip it a little bit, but it just feels like knowing that we have these really big, intense energies happening in the middle of the month. We're moving into them over this week. 15th through the 17th are kind of the pressure point of it all. And then after that, we have this stuff in relationship commitments. And so I think it's interesting that as we start to all feel these intensities, that afterwards becomes these things of where relationships are being tested. And I think of that even on a global scale, like as we hit some big, intense pressure cookers, that whether it's individual relationships, we used to think of like commitments and relationships as like a one-on-one, but that can be a lot of things. It can be like a country's commitment to another country. And those things are all getting challenged. So to look at now what happens in this middle of the month. So one of the things that's going on next week, Mars starts to enter Aries. Mars, a sign of, usually we relate to this as like the god of war, and Aries is, think of it as a most combative sign. I'd like to shed a different light on that. And I just want to remember that we all have Mars in our charts. We all have Aries in our charts. Aries is where you feel your most initiation, your most kind of, in a way, a bit of a self-centered way. It's where you take action. It's also most youthful sign. It's the baby of the zodiac. It wants to just lurch forward. It's the flower trying to break through the soil. And Mars is where you take action, where you feel drive around something. It can be what you fight for. Mars in Aries can often be really fighting for your autonomy, fighting for your own voice, for you to be seen for who you are. And that can be a really good thing. When Mars enters in the middle of the month, it'll be there. It'll join up with Neptune, Saturn, and Mercury, and the moon will be all clumped together. And at the beginning of this time, we also have the sun and Chiron together later in later degrees. So first, let's just look at that. And then after a couple of days, then the moon will go and join the sun and Chiron. What this all is first, sun and Chiron together. Chiron is the wounded healer. Sun and Chiron together is a healing crisis. It's in Aries of taking action, maybe without thinking too well, and having a healing crisis there can be, what do I call it? I wrote it, facing the cost of acting too fast. Now, we think of this like in the United States, jumping into a war, obviously. I wonder, like, how does that pan out in the larger scale? Individually, it may be some things about I mean, it could be a lot of things. It could be if you're taking some impulsive actions without thinking through it a little bit. This might be a phase, a few days where you are recognizing how you might have handled that better.
I guess that's where we want to pause here and just be
Mm,
like, there is this energy of this fast momentum. And with that fast momentum, there might be this impulsivity. And what the way we want to prepare for this is just know that there's just going to be this impulsiveness. Ground first. You can do things fast, but ground, do a warrior pose, do the
mm,
box breath, take a walk around the block before you react, because that fast impulsivity, with this momentum, with the Aries, could create something that you'd have to clean up around in your life, more drama than ease and grace. And
mm,
so on this platform, what we want to do is learn about these energies and how can we stay in the ease and grace of one love consciousness, right?
mm,
And so now we're learning about the Aries, the momentum, the fast impulsivity that could happen. But fast impulsivity in Aries can create some stuff that might not be something that we truly want in the long term. So
mm,
ground, ground, ground.
mhm.
Would you say?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, and then let's just look at a couple of those other things happening right now in Aries. So we have that Sun and Chiron together near the end of Aries. Near the beginning of Aries, Mars, Mercury, Saturn, and Neptune. Now, Saturn and Neptune have been together for a little while now. And those two together is a very unique thing. It hasn't, when they first met at 0 degrees Aries, hasn't happened in something like 9,000 years or something. It doesn't happen often. With them together in these early degrees of Aries, it's like forcing uh, your ideals, your dreams into reality, whether you're ready for it or not. It's challenging the potential ideals or dreams and wondering if they are able to make it to reality. So, Saturn is take things slow. It's they call it a malefic because it it isn't like a joyful experience. A Saturn in your chart and wherever it sits in your chart and Saturn transiting your chart is a time of like where things can get more serious. It can be a good thing. It can be a great thing at times. It might be, I have Saturn transiting in my first house, which is like the essence of me. And I find what it does is it's at this time, it's making me really take deep inventory of how I want to present out to the world and who I want to be. So Saturn in the chart can be wonderful. Um, Mixing it with Neptune, the sign of fantasy, the dreams, they're like two contradictory energies. And it's a really unique thing that we're going to be playing with for this year. We have been playing with it for a while, and we'll continue to learn about what it means to all of us. But with Mars and Mercury both going through it, Mars, the drive and bringing action to everything, Mercury, communication. I mean, those two together on their own, that's like possible major arguments opening up. A lot of people running off. What's the word? Running off the lip or running off?
Oh,
Just
their mouth running off or
yeah,
something.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like this, just really,
Yeah.
talking too much, saying too much, speaking too aggressively. That's what's happening. But mixing all of that with this Saturn, Neptune stuff, and it's hard sometimes to hold all of these things together. And what it means is hard to summarize that because it can be a lot of different things. But really, what it's going to be is a lot of action in impulsivity in uh, where we want to take initiation, where we want to just step forward, where we want to be seen, where we don't care sometimes what other people say, where we're willing to stub people's toes by, or stub our own toes and not care. And all of this now in drive and communication, how we want to uh, think about our structure in life, our dreams, all of this is happening all at once. And at the same time, the sun and Chiron together, saying there is this need of some healing really badly right now. And then the moon will go past, the moon will go through those four: Mars, Saturn, Neptune, Mercury, pass all of that. And when the moon passes something, it pulls all of that energy more into our own emotions. And then it will meet up with Chiron and the sun together. And I think that will be a real pinnacle moment. That'll be around the 16th, 17th. We have that new moon in Aries. It's, I think, one of the most potent, most powerful new moons in a way that we've had in a long time. Anyone listening to a lot of astrologers has probably heard for a while. Every month they're saying this is like one of the strongest in a while. And it is. When you look back at the charts over the years, um, the past since 2020, things have just been ramping up. We're in this like time of everything is speeding up rapidly. But when that new moon happens, it's going to be a real peak moment.
So how can we get ready for the new moon?
So a few things to integrate some of this.
So it's on the 17th, you said?
16th, 17th.
16th,
Yeah.
17th. So that's our
Yeah.
sound bath. Anyway.
Oh, yeah.
So
Perfect.
16th, 17th, this is the most powerful new moon of the year. So how do we prepare for that next week?
Okay. So from astrology point of view, obviously I'm going to tell you you do what Rebecca is going to provide. You integrate, you listen to sound medicine or do your own sound medicine. But if you can listen to an integrative sound bath, that is going to help tremendously. From an astrological point of view, you want to really allow and be aware of wherever in your life. So I need to get a little model of a wheel at some point to explain this better, but your own natal chart, if you ever look at your own natal chart, it's divided up in 12 little aspects. Those are the houses or the signs within each house. And it fits differently for each person. So for me, Aries is in my first house. My most core sense is Aries energy. For Rebecca, it's in her seventh house. It's in how she relates in a one-on-one with other people. It may be any one of these houses for you. So it doesn't matter if you don't know. It just matters that there's some area in your life where you feel a drive to take charge a bit. Maybe not control other people. That might be more Capricorn, but just you do your thing. You don't wait. You maybe don't finish either. That's a very typical Aries thing. Start a project and don't want to finish it. She knows it well because of living with me. But it's something that you feel an area in your life. You're going to be feeling all of these energies are going to be rising up a lot. And you don't have to think too much about it. Just know that wherever that's coming up.
Tropical.
And yeah, tropical whole house system is what I go with. And mostly, if you want to really niche it down, it's evolutionary astrology is most of what I work with. But and nothing against Vedic or Placidus or any of that other stuff. It just, this is the one that makes sense to me. Any case, be aware of what's coming up for you and be an allowance of it. That's really crucial, I think, because you're going to be going through some healing around it. There's going to be a part of you that wants to just fight back. And that's the kind of toxic side of Aries. It doesn't mean you have to be in total allowance and be pushed over. Aries isn't impulsive. It takes initiation, but don't let it be combative. So if you feel like an ideal is coming up, a dream that you want to take charge on, this is one of the greatest times to do so. One other thing about this month, almost every month, there is one sign that is in retrograde. Often it's Mercury, but it's pretty common. Pluto, Uranus, these slow-moving planets, Neptune, they'll be in retrograde a lot for a long time. This is a month where everything is in forward direction. So
So that's the momentum
the
feeling.
momentum,
Yeah.
and it's an Aries season. Like this is a very rare thing. So this to me is like, this is the time to take charge on something that you've been wanting to create for a while. Run with it.
And I would say run with the thing that after meditation feels like yours to run with.
Hmm.
Because if we're not aligning with our one love consciousness, the ego will get in there and the pain body will want to run with certain things
Hmm.
that create more push pull and drama um, and just pain body stuff.
Mhm.
So I think it's really important, and that's why we're going to do the sound activation. It's a little bit more meditative exercise where you can come out of it and be like, okay, I feel like I'm aligned with the fractals of one love consciousness. And we ask the question, what's mine to do?
Mm.
What does my soul want to do rather than my pain body? Because the pain body gets reactive in fear and it starts taking us on these tangents that might be wild goose chases that really isn't going to be super fulfilling. And when Sam mentioned, what about how does this affect globally? What we have to realize is what we think of in this one love movement that we like to be in is that the microcosm reflects the macrocosm. So what you are working on and what you're in allowance of will reflect globally.
Mm.
But what you are in resistance to will also reflect globally in more polarity. So this isn't happening outside of you. This is how we envision things with one love alignment, is that we are one love. Everything's the same. We are in this give, receive, cause and effect, like it's all the same thing. And so work on here, and that's going to shift how you see what's going on here. And so the allowance or the resistance is going to set up whether you see allowance or resistance in here. And not like allowance, I'm going to allow all this awful stuff to happen. You're going to have this sense of allowance of how you have allowance with yourself and the awareness of your heart and your pure soul. And as you have that allowance, you're going to see more of that in that pure soul in the world. And that's going to change how the world shows up for you. This is how our quantum field works. So it's super important what Matt's talking about is really work on the shadows to your allowance, which is basically working on that pain body that Eckhart Tolle talks about.
Mm.
And anyway, I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, I love that. I think, again, it's thinking of that, knowing there's all this Aries energy coming up, and know that there are things that you're going to feel like you want to go and fight. And, I give my own personal example. When I look at the politics, I want to fight, but it's always very irrational feelings that come up. I want to go and become Batman, or something. Like, it's something like I just want to go and become this vigilante. I want to go and just like go and rage, and I have to calm down and realize, like, that's not the work that I'm here to do. Even like marching, sometimes, like, I start to have to come up with realizing, like, that's not actually for me. Um, and nothing against others who do. It's just personally, like, what is going to be my most important work to do? And then I start to feel more clarity. And around that, then I feel the impulse toward uh, action, and that action mixed with the Neptune, some ideals, but also Saturn. I see a plan, I see a structure, and now we have Mars coming in. I'm like, awesome, give me the energy, give me the drive. I cannot wait to wake up tomorrow morning early and get to work. When you feel that, you know it.
And you have that focused mission that's yours.
Yeah.
Because if we don't do it this way and aren't in allowance, and we have this way of just reacting from everything we're seeing, which is easy to do because on one level, we're watching a horror story. We're
Yeah.
watching some awful movie in front of us, and it's easy to just want to go help every situation. And since we're on social media, we are aware of all of it. It can be very overwhelming,
Mhm.
and the pain body can start get impulsive and just go for everything. But you're not here to do everything. You're here to do your fractal of a part in the one love. And so when we come into that allowance and that groundedness, that what is my ideal that my pure soul wants to work on, then you have your empowered, your enlivened mission that Matt, you just talked about.
Mhm.
Then you're excited to focus on that. But you can't get that momentum of focus when you're like across the board feeling overwhelmed and reactive to everything you're watching on the news.
Mhm.
That's just not the way to navigate this month,
Yeah.
or really any
Ever.
month.
Yeah. But particularly this one, and I just want to like really stress it again. When you're in a month, right now, the sun will move into Taurus at the end of this month. While it is, and the sun is great in Taurus, there's a lot of great energies with that as well. But while it's in Aries and while all planets are direct, this is a really ideal time to uh, get clear on what it is that you're really after. Is there something that you have been waffling on, or is there something that you have been trying to bring about? What is it that you would most want to manifest in your life? And most likely, the thing that's really coming up, I wonder if that might be where Aries actually sits in your chart, whether that's in love relationships or in career or in changing your home or fixing something in your home or something with siblings. I mean, it could be all sorts of things, something, whatever it is, there's something that you're feeling this draw to, and you're in a really ideal moment. And the trick is to somehow not get caught up in the pain that's also happening everywhere around us. And I don't mean totally to ignore it. I mean, sometimes you have to. And for some people, that's exactly what you need to do. I prefer to integrate it because if I ignore it, that doesn't work for me. But I have to use that as fuel. I think of like Duke Ellington's story of, growing up in very, horrible racist situations, and he took that pain and funneled it all into really beautiful music. And he felt that his music was even more beautiful. His art was more pure because he was able to channel that pain into that. And his music isn't painful. It's not like gothic. I mean, it's,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
really beautiful, gentle jazz music. So,
One question
yeah.
Sam brought up was just like, you have a lot of Aries in your chart.
Mhm.
So how does this feel for you if you have like a lot of Aries in your chart with all this Aries stuff going on?
I feel, boy, it's been, I've been going through a lot with this. I mean, there's been a lot of action in Aries for the last couple years. Um, and it's been a big overhaul of my personal sense of self. I've been going through a lot. And at times it's felt like ego deaths. At times it's felt like midlife crisis, and it's gotten way more integrated now. And now I feel like energized and really, really motivated and really ready to go.
How would it be if someone had a North Node in Aries
Um, if their North Node is in
right
Aries
now?
right now, they're already feeling a tug in their life. It may be an uncomfortable thing. It may be a thing that they've tried to avoid a lot in their life, of feeling more autonomous, more independent, more individual, because that's Aries. Aries is very much the Rebecca sometimes will say, like, oh, okay, you're being a bit of an island. And I'm like,
Man.
island man. And that's very much Aries. That Aries is like, just go do the thing. There's a guy that does these, like, makes jokes about all the astrology signs, and about like if you're trying to go to a party with someone, and the Aries person is always like, I'll drive myself. I'll take an Uber. Like, I don't care. I don't care what everyone else's plans. I'm just doing it my way. That's, it's hard sometimes to manage with a group. So if your North Node is in Aries, that means that you feel like a tug to wanting to do that, and you probably more in your more comfortable way is to always rely on someone else. So while all this stuff is going through it, it just means that it's like life is really pushing you toward the uncomfortable, but it's your life path. It's where you need to be leaning into. And it's really important that you go there. Yeah, I mean, everyone, I'm always so intrigued by like where is Aries for anybody right now, because it's a really it's playing something out. It's playing something out in every single person's story. One of our kids, it's in their 11th house of community and friendship groups, and watching him navigate like what that's like, and having, feeling like want to collapse around it, and where are the friends, and all of a sudden like, screw this, I'm taking action, I'm doing what I need to do to make friends. And so it's playing out somewhere in your chart, and the most important thing is to not let the pain take over, and let the toxic shadow side of Aries make you just want to like fight and react. And if you're gonna,
Awesome.
yeah.
So Matt has a moon manifesting guide. It's a really cool guide, and then I have some sound healings that go along with it. But just curious, from a moon manifesting point of view, this new moon that we're coming up against, I think it's next week, the 17th, right? Not next week, but the following week. I guess it's in 2 weeks.
Yeah, just under.
So how would we work manifesting up until?
So this is like, again, all the planets are direct. A new moon is the time where the energies start to become like a blank slate. It's a time of, whether you're like actively trying to manifest, or there's just things that we're always manifesting. We're always like drawing toward things. Our reticulating activating system is always being aware of stuff and filtering out things at the same time. So if you're actively trying to create something, this is from now until we just had a full moon. Now it's waxing, or no, waning. Thank you. We're in like the waning gibbous, becoming the balsamic moon, I think, right now. This is the time where you start considering, reflecting on everything that you have been trying to work with. Do that this week. And as we get closer to the 16th, so think of around like the 10th, I think April 9th, Mars enters Aries. That's when people start probably feeling something kicking up a little bit. That's a great time to start looking, like that whole week. Start using this as a time to really be focusing. What is it that matters most to you, that you are feeling really drawn to? So a thing with new moons, people talk about like the full moon is when you like release and let go. The new moon is when you manifest. And there's a few aspects that I think are really important. One, it's helpful to know what moon phase you were born under. That helps paint a picture a bit of how you already work. But it also is really important to pay attention to the sign that the new moon is in, because it has a different flavor. So this new moon is all about independence, individuality, and beginning something. That's one of the most important things. It's a new moon of clear slate, new intentions, but in the Aries season of beginning. And with all of these planets direct in Aries, it's like everything is saying, what do you want new right now? What are you willing to start taking action for? What do you independently need to go and do? What are you here for?
Okay, so before we get to the 16th, get clarity. Let's all get clarity about what we are starting, what we are beginning. And so that's how we're going to use this potent new moon for this manifesting momentum for that beginning of something.
And I would just even kind of plug, I mean, you don't have to get the new moon guide if you don't want, but the new moon guide does come with a sound bath from Rebecca, which is made around new moon energy. So that one is particularly very helpful. And you just go to moonmanifestationguide.com. At the very least, listening to integrative sound baths that particularly, I think, like I'll listen to some when I go to sleep that are it's a digital music. I think it's helpful stuff that's made in like, a certain hertz, 432 hertz or whatever, but there's nothing quite like a sound bath like Rebecca does. It's almost like it's channeled. It's just, she gets herself out of the way. There's no ego involved. And something like that I find is so helpful for that clarity, right? Like that's a way to get
very
centered, to make yourself more
centered.
like a channel
Yeah.
almost.
Yeah. Well, I call it being sung. So like when you're listening to being sung, you're listening, my pure soul's talking to your pure soul. We're clearing the channel so that you get very clear and what's yours to do. What's the next beginning? What do you like?
Manifestation, not manifesting.
Okay. Yeah. So these are the little things that we can do before the 16th is come to Monday night sound baths, come to Tuesday morning 3 minutes of love, get really centered and clear so that you can use the power of this new moon to really start knowing of what's your next new beginning, right? Let's see, that my baby was, hello. So it's the most potent new moon of the whole year. So that's why I really want to spend some time with this. Yeah, marvelous. So if you want to find out which moon phase you were under, let me know in the DMs, Matt. We can send you that, or you can do the moon manifestation guide, and that'll help you these next 2 weeks use the moon phases to manifest. So that's available to you. But I'm excited. To see what maybe when we come back next month. I would love to hear about everyone's new beginning. I'm super excited about that.
I know.
Does anyone know right now what it might be for them? I'm so curious.
Yeah. And, and I just want to like keep stressing it too. Cause I mean, I'm hearing so many astrologers talk about like kind of the doom and gloom and just think like this is, and I get it. We are in some really tumultuous times. America is just totally regressed. I mean, there's a lot of crazy stuff. So all of that is happening, but what I don't hear a lot is how this works for the individual. Like this is a time that a lot of us in times of tumultuousness are also times of great opportunity. We're like, there's a chance for so many of us to like run with things that maybe we have hoped to do for a while.
Yeah. And if 1% of the population really runs with this in a very expansive, high consciousness way, and we're all working for the highest good, that 1%, we start making huge shifts in a global reality. So guys, that's why we're doing all this work. That's why we come on here live on first Sundays. That's why I come live every Monday night. That's why I come live every Tuesday morning. That's why I am on TikTok and YT, because these gathering the 1% makes such a huge difference. This one love consciousness matters. What you choose every day matters. What you choose to focus on, what your new beginnings are, it really, really does matter. So we're going to get into the sound activation now. And I just wanted to say that if you got some value from this live, from Matt's stuff, we do ask for some love offerings, pay what you want or can, Venmo or on Eventbrite. Of course, it's just a choice, but that's what we're just asking. And I'm going to go into this sound activation. So usually lie down.
Yeah, I'm going to go
if you
sit
want to
down.
lie down. Okay. And feel free, if you're not driving, find yourself in a very comfortable space. I'm going to guide the breath and guide us in about about 12 minutes of sound activation. And what I mean by sound activation is I'm going to sing from my pure soul. And it's going to talk to your pure soul center. And we're going to remember together. We're going to channel together this one love consciousness. The way I see it is that we are all fractals of the one. We make the one reality, right? And I also want to just give another one a little nudge that if I know there was some questions that people had about their specific charts and stuff like that, we can't get to in this 1 hour, but Matt can take 3 private readings per week. So just DM me if you want his information, because he can do those privates with you guys if you want to know specifically how these energies are going to affect your chart. All right, so here we go, guys. And when we can just really relax and talk soul to soul just through vibration, it is a powerful reset. We're sitting here on the precipice of Easter and resurrection and that whole energy, and we can step into that on Easter Monday. So here we go. All right, we are settling now. Settling the mind, the thinking mind. Our astrology maps are so interesting. And sometimes we get very active in our thinking mind. Now it's time to let that go and come into what you truly know, into your heart. So take a breath in, feel your body expand. Take a breath out, feel your body pull in and contract. Expansion, contraction. Feel your rhythm of expansion, contraction. Be in complete allowance of your rhythm. Coming into your soul center, your heart, coming into that wholeness of you, feeling the fractals of the oneness of each of us on this live. Focusing on your breath, softening your eyes. hanana heya, hanana heya, hanana heya. So just headache gone. Awesome. Yeah, notice. Notice if there's any shift in body sensations. Notice if there's any shift in awareness. Shift in the energetics in your field, in your biofield. Just notice it all. Notice that there's a little bit more clarity. Notice if there's a sense of oneness with all of us on here. That's why we're doing this, just to increase the knowingness of that oneness. And we combine it with the astrology so that we can navigate in oneness consciousness together through the 3D energies. You're welcome. You're welcome. Matt, do you want to come say goodbye? So thank you for pausing your holiday and being with us. Remember, these happen every first Sunday. Right now, they're open to everybody. We may eventually make it a registered event on a Zoom. Right now, they're just an open one. So thank you for coming. If you feel like doing a love offering, Venmo at Rebecca /Abraxas. And so May, when's the next one? May, I don't know. But I'll be here Monday night doing our Monday night tribe live with sound healing, mini sound baths. All right, guys.
Okay.
If you want to take this deeper into your personal chart, remember you can DM me for Matt's information, and I'll see you tomorrow night for our live tomorrow night.
Happy spring.
Yeah.
Easter, whatever you celebrate.
Oh yeah, yeah. What else? If you want to be on our email list, you can go, you know where to find that in the information bio. You can sign up and you'll get a free download of a sound bath and you'll be on our list. Let's see, how much are his readings? You know what? Just DM me and he will.
And I wrote it in the comments too. Transit. It's a sliding range, 22 to like 40, $22 to $40, something like that. It's
depending on how long and stuff it is, I guess.
Yeah, and just also like where people are at.
Yeah.
Just
so slide and scale.
but it's a
20 to 42.
it's based on, like what some particular things that you're going through at the moment. It's not a full natal chart read. I take your whole natal chart into account, but
Yeah.
uh,
I mean, he will do those bigger readings, but that's a whole nother scale. So that's
Yeah.
not just like the monthly show up type of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Are we good?
I mean, we're good. Yeah.
right.
We're kind of all blissed out right now. So
We're all blissed out.
yeah.
So go all be blissed out and go love your families, love your neighbors. And we're all tuned for the month. May we have a beautiful month and at the end of it, may we know what our new beginning is. May we manifest the joy of new beginnings. May we be the light of one love consciousness as the world's going through its tantrums. Thank you for showing up, guys. Much love. Much love.
Mhm.
How do I always end right there? Okay. You're welcome.